Hey yo guys, girls, and everyone in between, this is Rebellious Pastry here, and welcome to our final show of the season. This season have truly been a good one. Um, and yeah, so I'm going to just say this at the beginning of the show and also probably like a few times in the middle of it because that's how we do things over here with the hobby interview show, and whoever watches every single episode of this is probably sick of this announcement, but I'm going to go ahead and ask Valerie some preset questions, and then I'm gonna go ahead and open it to ask for anyone to ask about anything as far as the hobby goes. If the question's not about the hobby, then I'm going to go ahead and delete the comment because we've had too many instances of people not taking the whole like hobby interview show thing seriously. But yeah, and even during the preset questions, you guys can go ahead and ask her can go ahead and ask her um during like the preset questions. Just please keep in mind that I'm going to save them until after I'm done with my preset questions. And also um what else? Sorry, I'm a little out of it today, but um what else? Oh yeah. When you ask the question, please put either at Rebellious Pastry um or put a donut sign after it so that we know that you're talking to us, not each other. And then if you please keep in mind that we go ahead and um keep please keep in mind that I read all comments, so don't be mean to each other in the comments section. Anyways, let's go ahead and actually start the show after I bring up the questions. Um, but yeah. Um, Also, let's see here. This is going to be a genuine question because I forgot to ask. What, I'm gonna just let the question come up after. But okay, so we're gonna start with what is your name, even though I literally spoiled the answer to that.
Yeah. My name is Valerie.
And what are your pronouns?
I go by she, her pronouns.
And then, what is your social media, aka if you do YouTube or anything that you want to share to the batch?
I currently have no social media accounts.
Fair enough. Not everyone, not everyone does it. I just want to go ahead and give that option for people who do it. So there's that. Um, a good chunk of the time, I tend to have um people who are like online friends on these shows, so I tend to um let's see, sorry I got distracted. Anyways, sorry. And then what was I saying? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Most generally whenever people have people tend to have YouTube channels that get on here, so that's why I tend to put that question in. And then, what is your hobby that you're being interviewed for today?
Um, I am being interviewed for my hobby of playing the piano.
Oh yeah, I genuinely forgot. Um, but yeah, please keep in mind that there's been one other piano episode, but I allow for repeats because different people have different opinions on playing the piano. But
Mhm.
but yeah, how long have you been playing the piano?
I've been playing when I was at 4 years old.
4 years old.
Yeah, four.
Um, and um, let's see. So and then so since four, all right. So I'd say about like more than 10 years. I'm just gonna say that much. More than 10 years.
Yeah, sounds right.
And then
It sounds right.
and then how did you find playing the piano?
Mm, honestly, I don't know if I remember. It's been like probably a long time. Um,
Fair enough. Do you remember if your parents um if do you know if your parents introduced it to you? Do you know if you randomly found one at a family event?
um, I might have found it randomly, but I
Randomly?
could be wrong. Yeah, probably.
Fair enough. That that's been like a forever and a half, so there's that. Um anyways, sorry, my friend was DMing me about something I was DMing him about earlier. Um but yeah. Um I'm normally more on it, but this I don't like the hot weather. And it's also the last show of the season. Anyways, no more excuses. And then how did you get interested in playing the piano? Or since I'm gonna change the question a bit, since you probably don't remember how your 4-year-old self got interested in the piano, so I'm going to ask instead, I'm going to ask, why are you still interested in the piano?
Why am I still interested?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you said?
Yep, why are you still interested
Um,
in playing the piano?
um, uh, oh boy, I was not prepared for that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Fair enough. I tend to like when people go ahead and not prepare for questions because genuine and honest I want genuine
answer.
and honest answers, not like thought out ones. But anyways, um so that's why I go ahead and don't give you this sheet beforehand unless someone has like something to where they absolutely have to have it ahead of time. Um so like so I'm going to say this like this. So um there's a reason of why people do things with their time because we do not have an unlimited amount of time. So why do you choose playing the piano over anything else you could do?
Um, to me, it feels a bit more fun in
Fun?
a sense of like learning new songs and practicing them over, learning how to compose and stuff, just get creative with it.
So you like to just be creative with the piano as far as like why you're still interested in it?
Yeah, I would say so.
Um let's see here. And then yeah, wait, so how did you find it? Um already. And then how much on average does a piano cost? Wait, like how much does your piano cost? And if you don't know the answer to that, how what is the going rate on average for a piano, would you say?
Um, oh God. Uh, I have a Yamaha piano. It's a digital one. So, um,
so you would say, or wait, would you consider that a piano or a keyboard?
uh, it's a it's a piano, but it's like a kind of like a digital one.
Alrighty.
Uh,
I'm gonna ask a clarifying question of what's the difference between a piano and a keyboard.
Um, Keyboards are probably like they're probably longer. Um,
Longer as in
but with like
having
a
more keys, or longer as in
yeah,
like the
longer,
bigger, thicker
probably
keys?
wide. Probably longer in terms of like having more keys and probably being a bit more wider than just normal pianos.
Hmm. Do you know why?
Um, Not really, to be honest.
Fair enough. Um, you probably didn't expect me to ask you about a keyboard today. Which,
Well, no, it's fine.
but yeah. I was gonna say, which expect the unexpected when it comes to these shows.
Right.
But yeah, anyways. Um, so how much did it cost for your piano?
Oh, when did we first get it? I don't remember. Um, oh, I didn't even ask the parents how much it cost.
Um,
Oh no, I'm probably blanking on it.
alright, you can look it up too if you want. Just how
Let's
much does it cost for your specific piano? Because like the reason why this question is in the show is because it fits into the entire reason of why we have this show. We want to go ahead and introduce people honestly into hobbies without having them spending the money on it themselves.
right.
So
That's interesting. Okay, I may be looking at the wrong one, but it's about a bit more than $1,000, at least from Amazon.
all right,
But I don't remember when
you're
it was.
saying more than $1,000. I'm just gonna
Like a
say
bit more.
I'm gonna say 1,000 to 2,000 for like your kind of piano, and then for the sake of this show, I'm gonna look up how much on average
Does
is
piano
a grand piano.
piano?
There we go. So you're according to Google, you can get. So I'm gonna say it can be $10,000 plus to get a your standard like what you would imagine piano, like not like your
Okay.
keyboardish piano, but like more of your words. Um,
Right.
words are not wording. Um,
Oh no.
anyways, so like so you're saying like there's like your keyboardish thing, and then and then I've saying about like a grand piano too, and then
Yeah.
is it one cost or is it something you keep on paying for? So my example of one cost
Um,
hobbies would be like once you buy the equipment, you don't have to repay for anything unless something breaks. Something that you keep on paying for is if like you have a subscription for something for your hobby, or if like you still have to buy like pencils and pens, just like anything that like you would have to buy over and over and over again?
I would say mine is definitely a one cost piano.
So I'm just saying, like, your entire hobby. So, like, if, let's say, we were going with animation, some people would say one cost because they only pay for their software once, versus others would say it's something you keep on paying for because they use Adobe Animate, which I think is a mistake, but that's beside the point. But yeah, so is it one cost or
Yeah,
is it something that people keep on, or is it something you keep on paying for?
for me, I would say it's a one cost
Fair enough.
thing.
So you're
I
not like
don't, I
constantly
don't,
buying new music.
no, no.
Alrighty. So, and then wait, as far as how much stuff costs, how much does your music cost on average? Or do you just print out free sheets of music?
Um, the sheet music is usually printed out, so that saves time from actually paying for any
That's
actual music books.
that's good as long as you're getting it legally.
Right.
But yeah. Um but yeah, so you don't use any so you don't like use any like how to play piano songbooks or anything?
No, I don't. I don't.
Um let's see. Whoops, wrong thumbnail. I accidentally made the tongue orange and I forgot to fix it in like the channel wall or in the wallpaper as you see. So I'm gonna just put the channel thumbnail because I fixed it there, not over somewhere else, just because of like IRL happenings. But there we go. Um, there we go. All is good for now. Anyways, um, da, 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 da. Let's see here. And then, do you make any money off of playing the piano?
Um, I would say it's like free.
I'm
I
I'm
don't.
asking
I
I'm
don't make.
asking if you're making money off of it. So you aren't.
No.
Um, and do you have any plans to make money off of your piano playing?
Don't think I've decided on that as of yet.
So you're not quite sure if you want to go ahead and make any money off of playing the piano. Like, have you thought about
Yeah.
doing things like making music, like recording music?
I did think about that one. Yeah,
Um,
I want to do that.
have you considered like commissioning yourself out for like events like weddings, funerals, whatever, whatnot?
Not really. They seem a bit nerve-wracking to me.
Fair enough.
I'm probably just not ready for that.
Fair enough. But or like, are you have you thought about any other ways you might be able to make music off or make money off of your music? Not music off of your money. I got those two mixed up and I'm sorry. Another sharing your saw in half incident. But anyways, I digress. Um
Um,
why did I get that mixed up? Anyways, um so how is there any other ways that you're planning on to make money off of your music?
I don't. I'm not sure.
You're not sure? Fair enough.
Yeah.
Um there we go. And then what else? Um do, 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 do. And then how many hours a week do you typically spend on playing the piano?
Um, I would say probably between 1 to 2 hours
1 to 2
on
hours a
it.
week. That seems
Yeah,
kind of small as far as like playing the piano goes.
yeah. I
And
never
then
said I do it like often every day.
fair enough. Some people like some people I have made fun of because of how many hours of week they've they've done on their hobbies. And I've literally made fun of them on the
Right.
show. But they know it's all in all good and they know that it's in good fun most of the time.
Yeah.
Like I'm not meaning to like bully or harass anybody. Um but yeah. Anyways, and then how easy is it to have other hobbies?
Um, it could be easy, but um, I don't know. It depends on um. Uh, I'll say probably like it depends on what your hobby is or
Oh,
what you're planning on your hobby being.
dude, we're oh, not dude. Um hey, we're literally talking about playing the piano. I'm asking if playing a piano is a social hobby.
Oh, I feel like it is.
So how would you say it's a social hobby? Would you
Oh, I feel
say
like I'm misinterpreting something.
so like a social hobby, like would you consider like how would you consider playing the piano being a social hobby? Meaning like you do it with others.
Oh, um,
Or would you like to change the answer because you didn't quite understand the question the first time, which is a okay.
I think I might change the answer, but if I had to say first, I don't do it usually with others. I may sometimes do it with my sibling at home from time to time, but
And
other than that,
your sibling's name is Max, which we've had him on this channel a good chunk of times. Anyways, continue.
oh no, I think I've pretty much said what I needed to
But yeah,
for my answer.
some people would say yes because they like have music groups that they go ahead and participate in. Like people could say that piano is a social hobby because of like what do you call it? Orchestra. Because of like orchestra and stuff.
Mhm.
Um
Right.
and then yeah, anyways, what's the next question? So these next questions can be taken in so many different ways. I want you to try and also take like a long explanation. Or
Okay.
have like a long-winded um long-winded answer as far as like the answers to these questions go. Please go as long-winded as you need, and if you want to answer these questions in multiple different directions, then you can as well. And yeah,
Okay.
how has playing the piano helped you?
Mm. Um. Okay. Let's see. Um. It definitely did help. As I boy for As okay, back when I was taking piano lessons before, the more I kept learning, the more I kept practicing, I think eventually it kind of caved in, like it kind of created the pathway for me wanting to experiment more on what I want to do on the piano and make my own type of music on what I want to do with it. Um, what else? Come on, brain, form words. Um,
Fair enough. My words weren't wording earlier, so you're good, man. Not man. Fuck.
okay,
I keep on saying man, but you're not a man. It's just because
it's like
it tends to be how I speak. Anyways,
you're
continue.
good, you're good. I'm no happy accidents. Um, no such thing as accidents. Um, where was I? Oh yeah. After after I stopped taking lessons, I think because it was back in high school when I used to join in band because I used to play the piano for some pieces on there too.
Wait a minute.
And
I thought when you were in high school, because we went to high school together, for whatever reason, I thought you
yeah.
played a horn type instrument. I didn't know you played the piano in band.
Oh, no. The trombone, it was like way back in elementary school, probably in like fifth grade. And I just stopped completely after that
Fair enough.
because I kind of felt a bit uninterested after
Fair
that.
enough.
And the piano seems a bit more easy, but it does have some challenges here and there,
I'm just
which
trying
is
to
why I stopped.
imagine. Oh man, I'm just trying to imagine trying to do a marching band with a piano. How does that work?
I mean,
How do you do a
it
marching band
could,
with a piano?
it, well, it depends, honestly. Um, there are probably some marching pieces that could be just transcribed for the piano, which honestly, I don't really mind that. It could be a way to make it work if you just put your thought into it
Fair
and
enough.
try hard enough.
Were you in marching band or as well, or just regular
Oh
band?
no, I was in regular band. I didn't do marching band.
But yeah, for whatever reason, I thought you played a different instrument in marching band. That's why or in band. That's why I got confused. Cause I remembered you
It's
being in a marching band, but I didn't quite know what instrument you played. Apparently,
well back in regular band, not marching band. I did used to play some percussion instruments other than the piano,
fair
like some
enough.
drums, stuff like that.
But yeah, sorry
And it felt
I got us off track. But yeah, um, how else has the piano helped you?
um I'm not sure if I can think about it right now. I may or may not be blanking on the rest of what I want to
Alright,
say.
alrighty, that make. I'll go ahead and re-ask them later if you, or you can mention the answers to these questions later if you come up with them. Um, and then let's see here. And then how and then what are the downsides to playing the piano? Because we know that no hobby is free of all downsides.
Um, at times, it could be maybe a bit time consuming, especially when it comes to practicing a lot.
Yeah, I could see,
Um,
but then again, that's all hobbies if you really do think about it.
yeah, yeah. Um, and there may be it could also be backed up depending on like how difficult what you're trying to play is,
Fair enough.
which means it could take a bit longer to practice and get it perfect enough.
Fair enough. So you're saying that the time and also, do you get hand cramps with playing the piano or no?
Um, my hands don't usually hurt, but there may be times where they could get tired. Um, so it might help to kind of like shake the hands a little, or pause for a moment and then like shake your hands a little to kind of ease the tiredness, if it helps.
Fair enough. And I'm surprised that you don't get hand cramps because isn't that like a lot of moving of your hands?
Yeah, sometimes there's like yeah, like crossed hands, um, stretch out your fingers a little, uh, other stuff like that.
Fair enough. And then is there any other downsides?
Um, I'm honestly not sure. Uh,
Fair enough. I can go ahead and
well,
re-ask the questions later if that helps you.
yeah, that'll probably be fine.
And then um let's see here. This is the golden question that we ask every episode of the Hobby Interview Show, which is, would you go ahead and recommend your hobby to others?
I would. I definitely would.
Oh man,
I have no problem with that.
I'm just thinking about I'm just thinking about how difficult it is to, or like how difficult it is to learn the piano if you don't learn it at 4 years old.
Right.
I'm just thinking about that because
But
like
again, but
there
then again,
there's just a lot going on with those things.
yeah.
There's just
But
a
then again, not everyone is a musician,
fair enough,
or not everyone will pick.
fair enough. But yeah. Anyways, that's it for the preset questions. Now I'm gonna go ahead and ask you some questions that I can think of. So, what's the kind of pieces you like to play on the piano?
Um, Sometimes I do like to play classical pieces, like in the style of like Mozart or like Beethoven, which became like some inspiration on how I like maybe first began, and it also helped me to make my own classical song in that sort of style, which became like a two-part invention based on the classical style like in Bach and Mozart.
Have you
Um
considered playing more modern stuff or just those?
um I probably have maybe thought about playing more modern stuff. Sometimes uh it can include music from like different TV shows or games, modern pop songs, for example.
So, like, what modern pop
Um
songs?
oh boy. Um what's one I could think of right top of my head? Uh
I'm not sure, but
like
yeah.
um I want to
Um.
say, well, it may be modern, but maybe something like uh Shape of You by Ed Sheeran. It's just an example.
Oh yeah.
I'm not too sure.
Oh yeah. I can think of that song, but yeah. So, have you considered playing like game music too, like music from games?
I have definitely.
Like which
I do
ones?
want. Uh, it depends mostly. Like for example, um, like uh, like songs from like Pokemon or like Mario, maybe uh some indie games
Such as?
or like maybe from movies as some examples.
Have you have you thought about like playing with other people outside of your band? Like have you ever considered creating a group, like creating a music group and with playing with people?
Um, Probably.
Because
Uh,
um because someone we both know is trying to go ahead and start a metal band in the future. If you her name on the channel is Metal Health. Yeah, Metal Health. We're going with that. Metal Health. I almost accidentally added an extra letter in there. But she's working on starting a band. So if you want me to go ahead and get you contacted in with her, then let me know. If you want to go ahead and maybe um figure out if you want to play with her as far as like music goes. But yeah, anyways, have you considered like or have you ever played the piano for any like church groups either? Like I don't know if you went to church or not, which is none of my business, but like have you ever played piano for a church?
no, I have not. Um, yeah, I don't think I have.
Um so why haven't you thought about if you wanted to play with other people?
Um, I'm probably maybe more fine with starting out as a solo person.
Fair enough.
Um, Before I did my into collabing.
Also, check your DMs. Don't read them out loud though. Anyways,
Okay.
but yeah, let's see here. Did the so why don't we go ahead and talk more about your like background with playing the piano? Like, um, when was the so how long has it been since you or like how old were you when you first remembered playing the piano?
When I first started playing the piano.
Yep.
Um, oh God. Uh,
Like how old were you when w- with your first memory of playing the piano? Also,
Honestly,
did your parents force you or did you just do it free will if you remember?
I think if I remember correctly, I just did it on myself, on my own free will. I wasn't forced to it.
Fair enough,
I just happened to.
cuz playing the piano tends to be like one of those hobbies that are stereotypically known for having like parents forcing kids to do them. Like you know how it is, I think.
Probably.
But yeah, so you feel like you started learning the piano with your own or by your own free will, not like anyone else trying to
Yeah,
like force you to do it.
yeah, it was just by my own free will,
That's
my own
good.
choice.
And do you feel like if you want to learn an instrument, do you feel like as far as learning instruments go, do you feel like the piano is the good first instrument to start with, or do you feel like starting with something else would be more beneficial?
Um, to me, I might say picking the piano would probably be like a nice go-to first instrument when starting out.
When when starting out, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Alrighty. So so you would say that starting out with the piano is a good idea versus like starting with a different instrument and starting out with the piano and then switching over to the piano later.
Yeah, I would say so.
Um and then have you considered and going and making your own going and making your own music as opposed to always playing something that people always or people give to you like or like playing songs that other people have made. Have you ever considered making your own instead?
I probably have a few times. Yeah, it is
How
something I definitely do.
how
Um,
how hard is it?
um, it's kind of like middle ground for me. The reason is, um,
It depends on how simple of a
because
song you make it, or
yeah, well, it depends like what kind of mood. Well, first, what kind of mood you want to look for, and then you like plan out like, okay, what is the structure of the melody gonna sound like? And then like write it down or you play it a few times, see what works, and then just, you eventually go off from there. Or then you realize something doesn't sound right, and then you like go back and fix it, and then you like so on and so forth.
as far as like making your own music or playing
As
other
far as
people's
making
music.
my own
Fair enough.
music,
Have you made an entire song yet or not quite?
I have. It was for a school assignment, well, part of a school assignment. I did it on, well, not on the piano, but I did do it on like a musical software.
Hmm.
I made like
Oh
a full
yeah,
song with.
I have other friends who tend to use music software to make music too. Which one do you use?
I used FL Studio
Hmm.
because I think that one's probably because that's the one I think is maybe easier for me.
Fair
I
enough.
have used Pro Tools before. Um, but for me, I think FL Studio is like probably the better option for me.
Fair enough. Um, but yeah. Let's see. And then yeah. So do you like so let's see here. I'm gonna ask you like I know this was addressed earlier on in the show, but I wanna ask you like what other instruments do you play and how would you compare them to the piano? Like how would you compare them like as far as like playability compared to the piano and everything else?
Um, well, other than different kinds of percussion and trombone, I don't think I've played any other instruments. Uh, when it comes to trombone, it takes pressing like the different valves and like sliding kind of at the same time to get the notes right. and if you're playing like a scale, you're gonna have to like uh get the timing right, or at least remember like how many like what notes, like two fingers, what's the different finger position for this note and stuff like that. Um, which could be a bit difficult compared to like the piano because the notes are already there. So you're gonna have like some sort of idea. I was like, okay, this is a C, that's like a B flat. You know what chords to kind of play once you uh once you get used to over time. Uh well, that's for the trombone. In terms of the percussion, mostly it's drums, and it also depends on like the kind of drum you're playing. Um, and a lot of times it will require either like a stick or like a mallet. Uh, well, not always. There was also like a marimba or like a vibraphone, which are definitely mallet instruments. So and they're kind of similar in a way to a piano, except you're actually using like a sort of like stick to actually play the notes. But when it comes to like drums, they're not exactly pitched for the most part, except for like timpanis. Um, but in order to like change the note, you have to like press and like kind of like slide the pedal that's underneath the timpani to kind of like get the notes right of the whatever song you're trying to play. Um, and you could also kind of like change the volume, like how loud or how soft you're playing on the timpani, which could also be like that for like the marimba or like glockenspiel.
What's a
Uh,
glockenspiel?
it's like a smaller, a slightly smaller vibraphone or like marimba, and the mallets are kind of more glassy, and it makes like a more like slightly higher pitched sound. So if you compare that to like a piano, it's kind of like playing piano notes on like the very high end of the keys. If you're trying to compare them, how similar they sound. Um, but then when you were comparing both the percussion and the trombone uh together, uh the the percussion may seem a bit easier compared to trombone, which then leaves off with piano uh probably being a bit less difficult than percussion because one, you're not all the notes are pitched obviously, but there's also pedals to like help sustain like chords and like scales. Um and it's definitely probably a lot easier than like a trombone because once you get used to it, the piano, like how the piano like works and stuff, you eventually kind of like get ahead of it. It's like, okay, I know what to do here. And I kind of know like how fast or how slow I need to play in certain sections. Um, and it made it seem as not difficult compared to like a trombone. Uh, oh, I feel like
You're
oh,
good, man.
I feel like I blanked out of that little rant.
Yeah, you're good.
Um,
It's all good because it's important to go ahead and know that stuff as far as the um music goes with the yeah, and with you going on that rant, it gave me more time to think of questions. So congrats.
oh, okay.
So this might sound like a dumb question, but does an electric or does an electric piano get tuned?
I feel like an electric piano probably already is tuned.
So it doesn't get
I don't
tuned?
think you'll have to manually. Yeah, I feel like you don't have to like manually tune it because all the notes are like already like sounding like the way they're supposed to.
But yeah, like with a traditional piano, you kind of have to hire somebody to retune it once in a while to keep it healthy. I heard it's supposed to
Yeah.
be like once a week or once a month. Um, but anyways, that's why I wanted to ask. I'm like, how does a how does an electric piano get tuned? And then I'm like, oh right. Um, but yeah.
Right.
Anyways, and then so with the piano, how is it that you are able to keep track of where your fingers go when you have so many things going on at once on the piano? And how do you keep track of the sheet music as well when you've got like so many different notes on one line? How do you manage all of that?
Um, I would say it also like depends on like the kind of song you listen to. If you have sheet music and it's a song you recognize, you're kind of like, okay, I kind of remember like how it starts. Um, so then you kind of like put your hands in proper position and start playing. But for most of the time, if it's like a different song, you might have to like slowly read line by line and try and get like used to like how it's supposed to sound before you move on and kind of practice like a few times.
because
Um,
because you can see how like someone could go ahead and get their fingers messed up or mixed up when they're playing the piano, right?
right.
Anyways, continue with what you were saying.
Um, what was I even
You were
saying?
you were talking
Was I
about
still?
the question of like how do you get your fingers not mixed up whenever you're playing the piano?
Oh, right. Um, ugh, um, I don't know what to say.
Fair enough. And then have you ever words? Have you ever played on a grand piano? Like one of those I mentioned earlier, like one of those like old timey like wooden pianos that you have to get
Oh,
tuned once in a while. Yeah.
like a honky tonk. Um,
What's a honky? Wait, tonk.
it's like a very old timey sounding piano used for like bar saloon type music. So you could probably associate it with like The Entertainer or Maple Leaf Rag by Scott Joplin. Joplin? Joplin.
Oh
Joplin.
hi, oh hi,
No.
Max.
Hi.
Hi, Max.
I heard Val talk about it. So
Hey, Max. Do you also play the piano or no?
yes.
Alrighty, but this is your sister's episode, okay? We'll get you on as soon as I can, okay? Okay, Max?
Okay. Huh?
Max, we're gonna get you on a different episode, okay? This is your sister's
Okay.
episode.
I know. I heard her talking and I was like, "What's that?" Because I thought she was on a Zoom or something. So I walked in and I was like, "Oh, okay." Anyway,
She's on a pastry show.
yippee. Okay, bye bye.
Anyways.
Bye.
Oh man, I platonically love him so much. But this is your episode. I
Yes.
swear, whenever I get one of you guys on it, on the show, the
You're the
other
one
one
to
just
join.
happens to crash it.
Right.
Which I don't have an issue with. It's just one of those things, like, I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. You guys are literally the, unseparable when it comes to shows. That's okay. It's okay. It's fine. I'm just
Yeah.
like, what the anyways. So right. So have you ever played on one of those like more wooden, like the wooden pianos that you can't really move that well? Like the pianos that you would find like in public spaces. That is
Oh,
probably
like those.
that are oftenly probably like not tuned at all, because people don't want to spend money on tuning their piano.
Right.
They know it's unhealthy for their piano. Anyways, I digress. Like, how have you played on any of those kinds of pianos, or just your electric one?
I may have like once or twice, but it must have been like a while ago.
If you had,
Um,
if you had the opportunity to go ahead and play on one again, would you, or would you just rather stick to your regular like electronic piano?
I think I might just stick with the piano I have.
Fair enough.
It kind of bugs me when the notes are flat sounding, like too sharp. So then, because then it makes the song sound like weird or gross. It's like, oh god, it's like uncomfortable.
That's fair enough. You don't like how untuned the wooden ones can get, because that wouldn't sound good.
Right. Well, that is, unless you're trying to go for old timey type vibe, then if they sound a bit flat or sharp, then maybe. But other than that, it's like a definite no on my end.
And then, have you ever played on an organ? Not like a bodily organ, but one of those like pipey instruments that you would find in a church. I don't know why I keep on mentioning churches. Probably because they have pianos and organs and shit.
Yeah. No, I have not played an organ before.
If you had the option to play an organ, would you?
I might try it, but then I have to like try to figure out, okay, what the heck are these notes? Just like some notes they could play for your feet that are very bassy sounding. Is like, okay, what do I do here and stuff like that. How does the steam come out of the?
I don't think it's like steam, dude. I don't think it's steam, dude. I think it's just air and sound.
Yeah.
You think a steam?
Yeah, sorry.
You think steam goes out of an organ?
I thought it was either like a calliope or like something else that kind of has that.
And then have you ever tried to play Rush E? It's like one of those songs that are memed.
Oh god.
That are memed to be incredibly like impossible. But yeah.
Oh god. I would say.
Have you ever?
No.
Like, have you ever seen Rushy?
I have a few times, and I want to say I don't think I want to learn it whatsoever, just because of the fear of how difficult it is to play it.
Yeah, that's like, why it got memed. That's why it got memed, I think.
Yeah, and plus it's like a MIDI keyboard sound. So like, how am I supposed to compete with that?
Fair enough. Like, oh man, I'm just imagining how much of a train wreck it would be to play Rushy, even though like, I've never played a piano before. But yeah, wait, is Rushy? Hold on, is Rushy copyrighted?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look that up. Because I really want to play it, but I don't want to play it if it's copyrighted.
Hmm.
Is Rushy copyrighted? Let's see here. Let's see here. It's what's the deal with Rushy? I know it's an impossible piano piece. Yeah, it's an impossible piano piece. What other game songs have you played? I just got curious about Rushy there for a sec.
Ooh. Okay. I do know a few Undertale songs I played. And also I think I know like one or two Sonic songs. Um, Maybe a few Mario ones here and there. As some other examples. I think I know one or two songs of Plants vs. Zombies. Tetris I know how to play.
Tetris. We love Tetris.
Yeah. The Tetris theme. The Minecraft theme. And probably only that.
Do you find it funner to play game songs or non-game songs?
Do I find it funner?
Funner,
Is that what you
yes.
said?
Yes.
They do seem fun to play. I don't see why not. I mean, why not? You gotta get fun with it.
Fair enough.
Especially with how catchy.
Yes. And then like, do you prefer like songs that are higher in pitch or lower in pitch, or does it not matter as far as like what you like to play?
Not too picky when it comes to that sort of thing. Yeah, I'm probably more middle ground. There are some high and low pitch songs I like, so I'm not too picky about which ones I like more and stuff like that.
I was going to ask something and then I forget. Oh man, why? Oh man. Is there any songs you've started to play that you don't like to play? Like you tried it and you're like, nah, thank you.
I don't know honestly, or at least not that I can know from the top of my head.
Or have you like liked everything you've played?
I think I probably like what I enjoy playing.
And then, have you ever had a song that you looked at it and you thought it would be easy, but it's actually harder than you thought?
Do I know any songs? I'm not too sure about that.
Is there any questions that continue?
I might probably just like glance over on how difficult or how easy I think it would be to play something.
Alrighty, you can
And
go
probably
ahead
just like
and go
no.
that. What's the hardest piece? What is the hardest piece you've ever played?
It might be one or two, if I remember. One I think was called Chardash, but I'm not sure who it's by. And another one. Well, one say it was like extremely difficult. Rhapsody Brillante. Could be pronouncing that wrong. And maybe one more, but I probably just kind of ease into that one after a little while. Called Riviere by what's his name? Debussy. But yeah, those are the two or three that I would say are the hardest I played. At least for me.
Alrighty, fair enough. On average, how long does it take for you to learn a new song?
It depends mostly on how long the song is. Because if it's like a slightly difficult one and it's also kind of like long, then maybe it might take like a few weeks, maybe more, until I feel good about it. Um, but other than that, I'm not really too sure.
Do you try to go ahead and do you try to go ahead and words do you try to go ahead and learn a few new songs at a time, or do you tend to go one at a time with a song?
I might be like kind of bouncing between learning one at a time to like maybe like few several maybe smaller ones at a time.
How often do you go ahead and rage quit a song?
I don't think I had to. I don't think I've ever rage quitted a song. Or at least I
Like,
don't
this
think.
is too
I don't think I've
hard.
ever done.
Fuck it. Not literally, but you get the point.
I don't think I've ever had that feeling of like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore and do like something else.
Fair enough. And then, as far as like, songs go, do you just hyperfixate on one and decide to play it? Or is there a better method to your madness of how you decide to play, which songs you decide to play?
Um, ooh, uh, I don't know. That's a good question though. Um,
Like, how do you just decide which songs you want to play?
uh, if well, first I probably like would think what if after I listen to a song a few times, if I feel like I can try playing it on the piano, and if I do think that, I'll go try to at least like start and see how much I remember. And if it's not, then I might probably pick something else, and the process kind of continues.
Fair enough. And then, let's see. So have you ever had to relearn a song, and how long does it usually take to relearn a song after you learn it?
Oh, relearn song.
Like,
Um,
like, let's say you played it and then you forgot how to play it.
um,
Or do you not,
oh
or do
God.
you not ever
Okay.
forget how to,
Um,
or do you not really, forget, songs very well? Like, do you not really forget songs, or do you forget songs quite often? Like,
I
forget how to
mostly,
play them?
I mostly don't have a problem with forgetting too many songs. But if it's like something that it's like that I can picture but not exactly remember how it goes, I'll have to like pull up the sheet music for it, and then once I start playing, I then eventually slowly do remember. Um, and then I just kind of keep going.
Fair
But
enough.
I've never had a problem before.
And
Well,
then
always not.
like, so how are like musical slurs, like, not like a bad word slurs, but like, how are musical slurs played?
Oh boy. Um. Oh, frick. Um. Usually if it's if it's written in the sheet music, it's just like a line, like a curved line above or below two sets of notes, then either it's gonna be like then probably like you hold one note and then play the next one, or you play it as if it's like connected in a sort of way, like a tie. Unless I'm remembering wrong. I don't think I am though.
I see. But yeah, how often do you have to play slurs in songs?
Um, I would say probably well. Again, it usually depends on song, but if I had to say, maybe not too often. They're probably more like spaced out, or what's the word? More spacious, more widespread. And it also depends like how many there are within a song. Or a certain passage. You kind of just like, okay, once it gets to this part, I then have to play the slur and stuff like that.
And then, do you prefer like faster songs or slower songs? Or do you just play what's interesting?
Um, I find myself wanting to play music that I find interesting. There are some fast and slow paced songs I like to play, and if something I like seems to interest me a lot, I'll choose to play it. Or I may like change the tempo if it's like a bit too fast or a bit too slow.
I see. Um, so, um, do you feel like faster songs are, so do you feel like faster songs are harder or slower songs are harder?
It could kind of go both ways, honestly. It could be there could be like a slow or fast song that's like a bit too difficult. So I might have to like look back slowly, like see what I'm trying to play. Make sure I get it good by practicing it a few times. Um, but I would say it's probably not too often that a song like that is like just like extremely difficult. So
And does it take your mind does it take your mind longer to process those faster songs? What is
um
what is so I already kind of wait, I asked you what was the hardest song, but I don't think I've asked you. What is your favorite what is the best piano song to play in your opinion?
ooh, okay. I have two that jump out at me. One is oh god, let's see what it's called. It's like oh no, what was it? I think it was like a Bach piece, but I might not remember the name. And another one is a Moonlight Sonata first movement.
So, may
I'll
I
say
ask,
that's probably my
and then I'm going to ask and why?
and why. Um, I would say for one of them it's because uh well one I not only did I listen to this a few times and kind of like slowly understand how it goes, but I also did learn it as one of my music lessons with one of my past teachers. So that kind of like became a memorable song for me to play. And another one, the other one is I would say is because um I'm able it sounds uh almost like as if there's like a story going on somewhere. and kind of like just like picture it in your mind. Uh, um, and I did play this piece as part of a concert I had back in one of my earlier semesters of college. So that's another reason why it kind of resonates with me.
And is that for the first or the second song?
Uh, that one is for the name. That one is for the I think the Bach piece. I don't think I remember the name of.
Fair enough. How about for the second one?
Um, the moon is not up. Well, like I said, I did used to learn that song as part of my as one of my lessons back when I was taking piano lessons. Um, and I think it's also because of how uh it paints like a picture while also conveying some sort of like emotion in there somewhere that kind of like sticks with the with the listeners or with the musician in question. And I think that's probably what was intended of the artist, but I could be wrong. But yeah, that's what I think for that one.
And then, uh, so here's the next question from Cheese Eater Supreme. Do you know how to play, I'm um, sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, but, um, but like, how does one pronounce this thing? Do you know how to play Rondo alla
Oh, Ron.
Teresa? Um,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
I think it's
by
famous, so
Wolfgang. Why are names so hard to pronounce? I'm gonna DM you the question so you can go ahead and so that I cannot suffer while trying to say all of these hard names to say, and I'm gonna make you
okay.
suffer instead. I'm kidding ish.
Oh,
But you probably know what I mean.
yeah, Ronda,
There we
Cup, and
go.
Wolfgang Amadeus.
So there's the question. I DM'd it to you.
I would say I think I do. Uh, no, I do always remember some parts of it, but maybe not like the entire piece. But I do know how to play it somewhat. It's a very fun song. But I wouldn't say it's like my one of my top favorites.
He just
Not
asked
because
if
of how difficult.
you're good, man. I'm talking to Cheese Eater. You're good as far as me not being able to pronounce stuff. But yeah, that the question was like, do you know how to play it? Not if it was your favorite. But yeah. Anyways,
Oh, yeah.
you're good, man. And then, what is your favorite fast-paced song?
Oh, hold on. If I can, uh, I swear it's like in there some. Uh, hold on. What's the name of it? It's like a Bach invention in like D minor that I also used to play, but it was like from like a book collection as well. Um, I would say it's probably that one. Yeah, the Well Timber Club, Bach Prelude and Fugue number 6 in D minor, book 2. I would say that one is probably my favorite fast paced.
And then, what is your favorite slow-paced song?
Mm, I'm gonna go back and say again the I don't know. It's two answers. One that I said earlier, the Moonlight Sonata first movement, and also the Revere Claude Debussy song as well.
Hmm.
Piece, I mean.
And also, Cheese Eater is asking, what is the longest song you can play, and how long is it?
Oh boy. Do I remember? I have to think about this one. Hold on. Was it the Chardash one? I might be remembering it wrong, but I think it might be that one. I'm not too sure. Because if it is that one, then it's about maybe close to 4 minutes long. So I wouldn't say it's like extremely too long, but I'll say if I had to say, it would be the Chardash one that I used to play before by a
Yo!
month.
Sorry, but there's a 35-hour piano song!
Oh no, what is it called? I need to know.
Sorry, I just, apparently it's called, let's see here. Oh man. And apparently it's like one, like, set of notes that you're supposed to play 840 times.
840 times?
Yeah.
Who found that information?
I found it, but like,
Oh
off
no.
of just
The
like,
longest
look at this thing. Click on the link and look at this thing.
stations, the longest piano piece. Oh no, I'm scared.
Oh man. Sorry, I got distracted by the longest.
It's okay. You're good.
Per,
840 times.
Hey, Cheese Eater, just so you know, I'm the interviewer, not the interviewee. So I do not know how to play the piano, man. Anyways, sorry. How long is how long is the longest song you've ever played? Sorry, I got sidetracked by how much, just like how long the longest ever piano song was. How long is the longest song you've ever played? Definitely not 35 hours.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. When I first said Chardash, I just remembered. I just looked it up, and I was a bit wrong. It's the Revere piece by Debussy, and I think it's about maybe 5 minutes, maybe like close to 5.5, I would say, at least for me. So I'm definitely changing the answer to that one.
5.5 minutes.
Yeah, about.
How many songs do you know in total?
It's gonna be probably a long list, so I wouldn't be able to give off like a
Approximate.
estimated number.
Estimated.
Guess, I mean, but it's probably a long list.
Oh man.
There's no.
But yeah, that is fair. But like, can you give us at least a rough estimate? Like,
Oh boy.
Or do you seriously not have any idea?
I'm not sure I would even be able to say.
Oh man. I mean, with more than 10 years experience of learning how to play the piano, That is a very fair thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, would you say it's in the double digits, the triple digits, the quadruple digits?
Oh, uh, maybe somewhere in the double digits.
Fair
I don't
enough.
think triple, so I'll say somewhere in the double.
I'm gonna ask the opposite question of what Cheese Eater asked and say, what is the shortest song you know?
Oh God, the shortest song. Uh, can it even be considered a song if it's like a jingle I know how to play on the piano?
Okay, I want to know the answer to if I say yes to that question and also if I say no to that question. Because I'm
Oh
curious
God,
for what you say either or both directions.
I was like, what are we gonna ask? I'm just like, does it count though? Because I don't know if it does. Um, shortest. Hold on. I might have to compare timestamps real quickly.
I'm
Mm,
just laughing.
mm, no, that's not it. What a cool out. It doesn't seem right. I don't know.
You don't know how short the shortest song you've ever played is?
I don't know if I played any like extremely short songs, but then again, I still don't know if I want to say a jingle counts as a song, so I don't know.
I'm saying answer it as if it does count, and then answer it as if it doesn't count.
Okay, if it doesn't count, I probably wouldn't be able to say. If it does count, anywhere between like Old Spice or like Empire Today
Hold on,
as a short
isn't
jingle.
Old Spice a deodorant brand?
Yeah, there's a jingle for an Old Spice.
Wait,
It's just like
so
it's mainly like a whistle, though. It's like 5 minutes
five
or so.
minutes, 5 minutes for
One
jingle?
second. Whoops. I meant seconds.
Oh, you're
Whoops.
good, man. You're good. Please remember that I tend to call almost everyone man, so fuck. Anyways, um, but yeah, do you know how to play for Elise?
I do.
Um, what other popular songs can I randomly think of? If okay,
Well,
I'm kind of curious. If someone were to walk up to you, when you were playing the piano and be like, "Hey, can you play a song for me?" What would be the first song you would choose to play for them? Or would you be like, "Oh fuck no, I ain't gonna play for you because stop asking me." But yeah.
that's um, I definitely want to play that. Um, if I have to say the first song
That would
that
come up to
comes
your
to me,
mind, or would it just be random based off of the day?
um, it might kind of be like what is in my mind right now, so to say.
I can't think of the name of that song. I don't know, man. Anyways, um, so yeah, what is your least favorite song to play?
Um, oh God, least favorite song. Hold on. Let's see if I can envision it. Oh boy. Um. I don't know. I don't think I've ever uh called a piece I used to play as a least favorite.
Fair enough.
So I'm not too.
And also, I meant to ask this question about 10 questions ago, but do you feel like your motivation to play a piece is decreases based off of how if it was assigned as a homework piece or not? If it's assigned to you versus if you choose it, do you feel like your motivation to learn it decreases?
Um, it probably could because why would you? Why? It could. Especially depending on what you're given. Because if you already know the song already, then it may seem not too bad for you. But other than that, it probably could slightly demotivate you, especially if it's like a difficult song or if it seems difficult to you.
Mm-hmm. And then, do you feel like higher pitched songs or lower pitched songs are harder, or are they the same?
Um, I'm probably gonna go middle ground again.
So
Not every,
so it depends on the song.
yeah.
Fair enough. And then before we continue on, is there any questions that I haven't asked yet that you wish to address? So if you were me, do you have any questions that you would ask yourself if you were the interviewer that I
Um,
haven't covered that you want to make sure that that you cover?
um, I don't think so, or at least not in the top of my head.
And also, when also, have you ever tried to play a song with someone else on the bench also playing the piano? Have you seen those pieces where two people are playing the same song on the same piano?
Oh, I think I might have seen those videos.
And
Um,
have you tried that?
um, I would say I have. I probably did do some duet pieces or uh play pieces with another person before.
How hard is it to go ahead and play a piece with somebody on the same piano?
Uh, I would say maybe one. It depends on how big the piano is, but mainly it would be depending on
Their skill level, or
which part. Oh yeah, and which part you're assigned. Like if you're given the left hand or the right hand, and you look at the song, and then you like figure out how tough or how easy your part is compared to the other person's.
fair enough. And then, let's see here. How hard is it to go ahead and play with somebody else when you're not on the same piano?
I don't know if I've had that experience before, so I wouldn't be able to say
So, if two people are playing the piano.
if two people, but they're like not on the same piano.
So, if you're both playing the same song, but on different
But just
pianos.
yeah, I would not be able to say. I don't think I've ever had that happen before.
Fair enough. Because there was only one piano player in the band. How hard is it to play the piano when you have different when you're playing with people who play different instruments, such as like people who like play. How hard is it to go ahead and play with people who are playing like the violin or like any string instrument or like any other type of instrument?
Ooh. Oh boy. I rarely. Okay, this may have been like a while ago, but there was a piece where it was like a duet where I had to play the piano and the other person was playing the violin. And based on the way the violin sounded or how it was like tuned, I don't think that it worked too well, honestly. Well, at least from my experience. So, um, but I don't think it was like extremely difficult. I would say it was just mainly the sound was kind of off, especially when you're comparing a violin to a piano.
Fair enough, because I feel like a piano has a way larger range of notes than a violin.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that is unless you can figure out how to play chords on a violin,
fair enough.
which
It's
I
just,
don't think.
yeah, I feel like there's just a wider range of notes because, like, yes, I used to play the violin. The funny thing is that Pastry was what ended my orchestra career, but that's beside the point here. But like, um, I feel like the different positions, but then again, like you wouldn't be able to get lower than the. I'm gonna say okay. I'm going to go ahead and because of how life is, I'm going to say viola instead of violin. And let's see here. You can't get lower than the C string on the viola. Want to know? Okay. I almost okay. I'm trying not to make a not channel appropriate joke with this, but on the violin, your lowest string is the G string. And people might
Hmm.
take it the wrong way if I say the G string.
Yeah, we don't we don't need that confusion.
But anyways, we're talking about the violin G string, not the other kind of G string. But yeah,
Right.
yeah, and then the highest string to play on the violin is the E string, and then the highest to play on a viola is the hold on I think A string. Um, but yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've played the violin, but that's beside the point. Um, but yeah, how so do you feel like you're going to just want to continue playing the violin forever? Or not fuck, the piano. Think you'll ever want to stop playing the piano, or do you think it's just going to be something that's going to just be in your life forever?
Um. Uh. I don't think I'll. Uh. I don't think I'll stop playing piano. I do want it to at least continue being part of my life. For a long while. Um. So I
And
don't think I'll stop.
and what would get you to stop if you stopped?
Uh.
Because for me,
Probably.
when I stopped playing the violin, it was due to time. It was due to the time commitment because I wanted to do pastry instead.
Right. Uh, it might be either time or maybe demotivation or
Fair
like a
enough.
combination of the two.
Fair enough. And is it easier to play by yourself or in a band?
I find it easier if I was by myself playing.
Fair enough. Now the next question. Oh man. I have is what does a piano do in a band? Because I thought it was strictly an orchestra instrument.
um, it does have like probably some long passages that are written within a band piece. Um, and it's not like always like too often the piano comes in. Uh, because I think I might have played only one band piece that was for the piano. Um, uh, I'll say it kind of like acts as like a maybe like a background sort of thing. It may play some like melodies or like some small like scales or chords, or my like uh help with like a very intense part of a piece with like some low notes mixed with some higher pitched chords and stuff like that.
Fair enough. And then yeah, I want to go ahead and touch back on two questions that you felt like you had a hard time like thinking of answers to on the what do you call it? On the question sheet, which is how has piano helped you? How has playing the piano helped you?
Uh, no, I don't. I don't know if I think I pretty much said what I wanted to say for that question until either I felt like I wanted to say something else, but I was blanking on it, or something else like that.
Fair enough. So,
Um,
how has so I want to ask it in a different way now. How has playing in the band helped you as far as like your piano playing goes?
um, I think it definitely did kind of help uh try out some more classical style sounding pieces or try out some different styles within the classical genre because most pieces sounded like they were in in that in that area, but not a whole lot of them. So
Also do most when it comes to like group music, are you mostly playing stuff that would make sense on its own or wouldn't make sense on its own? Like such as like there's sometimes when violins get like the melody or like the sub melody or whatever the fuck.
mhm. um uh there may be some pieces that could make sense if it was by itself, but most of the time I think it might be better if it was with the band. Um, especially because of like um how well blended it sounds when it's together, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Instead of like by yourself.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah. Um I'm going to go back to asking like what are the downsides to playing piano?
Um, so one of them was definitely time, but another one, it could be times where maybe you're not in the mood, or when you're like or when the motivation isn't there.
So, are you talking about like
Or
art block, but for music?
um probably, yeah. Especially like when you like have the idea and you like want to do it, but you don't, or you don't uh or you may not have the time for it, or you keep forgetting, or you brush it off and just don't think about it again until like probably like much later, until it resurfaces, and then you actually start doing it, start writing it down.
Have you ever wanted to rage quit the piano?
No,
Or does
I
the
don't think
piano
so.
just tend to calm you down most of the time?
Uh, it does help calm me down. I don't I don't find myself wanting to rage quit.
Yeah, so like I have a question and like does playing the piano help you like calm down or um does it help you calm
Um
down or is it just neutral?
it does help to calm down. And sometimes when I'm not actually sitting by the piano, like if I'm at like a desk, I could like tap my fingers against like my leg, for example, and kind of like pretend like I'm playing something on the piano as
Fair enough.
um like a
And
calming mechanism.
and as far as like sensory goes, does it help you? Does it like make you more or less overstimulated if you were to be in a situation of being overstimulated?
Um, I think it does kind of help in terms of like making me feel less overstimulated.
Is it because you can focus more on the piano than the thing that's making you overstimulated?
Yeah, I would say so.
And yeah. Um, all right, I'm gonna end with this question that I already asked once, but like, is there any questions that you is there any questions that I haven't asked that you would like to ask and answer? Like basically, if you were the interviewer, what would you ask the interviewee about your hobby? Because
Um,
the reason why I asked this question is I feel like that regardless of how good an interviewer is, there could be some things that could be missed with like some things could be missed with like the whole like like I could ask like all different sorts of questions, but like if but sometimes like an entire topic or realm could be missed just due to how like I don't think of everything. So, do you have anything that I haven't thought of?
um, oh man. Uh, I might probably just go with the questions that you were asking.
So, like
Um,
I'm not like asking so here's the thing. I'm not missing any major details, correct?
no, I don't think so.
Alrighty. Um and then let's see here. I just wanted to triple check. Um but yeah, I want to since we have a little bit more time, I want to also touch base on like any like collaboration ideas you have as far as like people collaborating with you if you ever did a collaboration.
Um, uh, oh goodness. Uh, if I were to do a collaboration, then oh god, why is this question kind of hard?
Fair enough. It's a very open-ended question. That's why it's hard.
uh,
Or are you just not absolutely not like planning on doing any? Or are you planning on to not do any collaborations in the future?
um, I don't know if I feel like I want to.
Fair
I
enough.
may or may not in the future, but I don't know. Currently, I don't think I feel comfortable enough to start a collaboration.
Fair enough. And also, one more question. Do you think you'll ever start a YouTube channel for your piano or no?
Oh, I don't know. Uh, I don't. Uh, the thought of it is interesting, but then when it comes to actually doing it, then it could be a little nerve-wracking. So I'm not too sure about that.
I mean, regardless of what you do on YouTube, things can be a little nerve wracking at first. Like this show was extremely nerve wracking the first time I did it, man. But yeah.
Right,
Anyways, you don't have any closing channel announcements because you don't have a channel. Sorry if that sounded
right.
dry and insensitive, but anyways, I'm gonna go with my closing announcements, which is I released out my April Fool's Day video for this year late. And then I'm trying to go ahead and work on my what do you call it? My things that annoy me video, but I've been having issues in IRL obligation that that include that includes someone being unethical. So there's that. So yeah. Someone's being unethical about something in real life, so I've been like trying to deal with that. Um, I'm it depends on how I'm feeling about what's going on right now, as opposed to if I'm gonna make a video about it or not. But yeah, it's just it's just a not fair situation. Or don't worry, I'm safe. I'm fine. It's just someone's being very unfair. Um, in my IRL obligations right now, and it's just been making it hard to do anything right now. But yeah. Anyways, I was gonna say if you do you have an outro, but I'm betting that you're not gonna have an outro because you don't have a channel. Unless you
Right.
have an outro somehow.
Uh, no, I didn't think of one.
But yeah. Anyways, I platonically love you, Mud Donut Batch, and see you in the futures to come. Bye. Oh wait, shoot! I almost said the S word, the other S word. Alright. I have one more announcement, guys. That I almost forgot to say, which means I'll go over the entirety of the outro thingy again. But this is going to be the last episode of the stream show season. The next stream show episode is going to happen in August. Or not August. Okay. So. I'm gonna like take it back a few steps and say that I might be doing a summer season due to IRL situations my with my summer job and like my and like some other personal things. So I might have a summer season, but I'm not quite sure how that's going to play out quite yet. So I'm going to go ahead and figure out how the summer season's going to go and get back to you guys on like what's going to go on with that. But yeah. Anyways, and also with the summer season, I would still keep the show times like 2 hours because it's like a good amount of time to like do things on this show. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna say my outro again because I was a goofus the first time with forgetting my announcement. But yeah. Anyways, I platonically love you, Mud Donut Batch, and see you in the future to come. Bye. Are you gonna say bye?